Welcome to Life is Shit with K-Fish. So I have not been doing many recordings recently. As you know, if you, for some god-awful reason, watched one of my other real-life videos, you know that in December, my position was determined to be redundant, or however they want to word the fact that I got laid off. Interestingly enough, they couldn't actually let me go until almost the last day of work. There was 3 of us that were laid off. The last day of work for everyone was December 18th. They were able to find another position for me within the company. Some strings were pulled because I'm definitely not qualified for this position, because I am not technically minded, and it is a tech support position. So the other 2, their last day was December 18th. They could not let me move to my new team until January, because they were stunningly so short-staffed on my old team that they couldn't cover the holidays. You'd think that that's something that, might give people a pause. Maybe that was not a good decision, but I don't get paid enough to make these kinds of decisions. I barely get paid enough to question them. Anyway, so my current schedule is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then I get Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off, which is dandy. I mean, it's nice not having to take personal time to do appointments or anything like that. But at the same time, I mean, it still kind of sucks. My weekends are like pretty much dead, because despite the fact that I know it's going to sound stupid. I know. Because most people work an 8-hour day. If you are working full-time in the U.S., if you are working 40 hours a week, you normally work your work day is between 8.5 and 9 hours, depending on what kind of lunch you take. And mine is 10 hours. I do not take a lunch because I don't want to be here for 11 hours. I was given that option and I took it and ran away before they could change their mind. And so I know that it sounds dumb that I'm about to say. I know it's only a 10-hour day. But it's a 10-hour day that, starts at a god-awful hour in the morning. And then at 5 o'clock when I'm off work, the number of spoons that it takes me to get through a day, especially on a Friday or a Monday, I don't have any spoons left at the end of the day. I have a half a spoon left to make sure that my kids are fed and showered if need be. Because I'm sorry, especially Landon. She's a kid. She does not need a shower every day. She does not need to wash her hair every day. So I don't end up with very many spoons, which is why, despite the fact that, you have, all day on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to do things, my house doesn't look any more like Donna Reed lives here, because I am so mentally exhausted from having to deal with specifically Mondays, because I don't know what kind of bullshit people go through on their weekends, but nobody remembers how to use a fucking computer come Monday. 11 years ago, there was a woman that called every single Monday because I had been shoved in the door as just a password monkey. I just reset passwords for one of the customers that the company supported. And she called every single Monday between 8:30 and 9 because she couldn't remember her passwords from the week before. This was a weekly occurrence. And she honestly couldn't understand how people just remembered their passwords after the weekend. She had no idea. She was flabbergasted that people didn't have to call every single Monday. And I'm just sitting here going, do you tie your shoes every day? Do you tie your own shoes every day? Do you forget how to drive a car if you didn't go in the car over the weekend? It blew my mind. And I'm like, as a tech support person, you cannot tell somebody, look, you're so fucking stupid. Get a Post-it note. Because technically you can't swear at them, you can't tell them it's their fault, and you can't tell them to write their passwords down. So this woman, and I literally spoke to her every single Monday for months. I went off on her one time, and it's because I went back to work after surgery days before I should have, because I couldn't afford to take off work. And after I spoke to her, and I didn't rip her apart, but it was the first time that she could really tell I was not happy with her. And I remember she was like, Lisa, calm down. Are you okay? And I just started crying. I was like, I just want to help you. Because, it was just too much. And I don't know why. I thought that it would be different, that, users wouldn't be so useless. Now. But they are. And so, over the weekends, I probably take about 10 calls a day. That's not bad. That is a decent number. Which I know averages out to like 1 an hour, but also keep in mind that some of those take a while. Because not everybody can actually follow directions. But Mondays, I can easily do over 20. And again, that sounds like 2 an hour until you realize that most of those are 15 to 25 minutes long of me bullshitting my way through a phone call. And when I say that, I fucking mean it. I have to have the most amazing amount of small talk while I'm Googling my ass off. So that's fun. So yeah, I don't have spoons during the week because I have migraines almost every other day now. And it used to be like a maybe monthly occurrence. A little while ago, I had a migraine that was so bad, and it was during work. And because of a call that I had that literally just spiked straight through my brain, and I called my manager and I was like, I need to turn out the lights. I need to do something. I need to get rid of this. I'll be back. and I went into the bathroom because it's the only place in the apartment that I can get it dark. And I went into my bathroom and I sat down, and I woke up about 45 minutes later. I had passed out on the floor of my bathroom. I was in so much pain. And the only reason I woke up is because my boss texted me and was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, apparently I've died." So, and before anybody says, "How did you hear that if you were actually passed out from pain?" It's because it is a text tone that is literally screaming. Screaming obscenities specifically. So I don't have spoons left to do most things. On top of that, and this is not a bad thing, it's just an embarrassing thing, kind of. It started out as a joke, kind of. It started out as a ha-ha, wouldn't this be funny? Last September, I had written or last August, early September, I had written a fanfic that was actually a choose your own adventure. It was done just like a choose your own adventure book. At the end of each chapter, it would have a link to another chapter depending on what choice you took. It was an actual choose your own adventure. And it was fun. And I was in a Discord server where it kind of accidentally happened, where there was a group of people and we were all chatting, and we kind of almost halfway had the idea. We started just like throwing things against the wall, and it was like, oh, haha, wouldn't it be funny if we all collaboratively made a choose your own adventure? And it was supposed to be just something that we posted on AO3. And then I got it in my head, why don't I publish it? Because I am an idiot. And I was like, yeah, what we can do is I'll like, pull all these writers together, and we'll all like pick out what we want to write, and we'll put it all together, and then I'll contact a bunch of artists, and I'm like, hey, do you want to illustrate our book? And and then somehow magically I would get the know-how, the education to be able to actually do that, to put it together, and find a publisher and find a way to distribute it and all of that. I had none of that. What I do have is a fantastic group of people in a Discord server with me who are ridiculously supportive of this idea and actually having a lot of fun. Everyone that I've spoken to about it is like, holy crap, nobody has done that. And I'm like, I know. There's probably a reason. But yeah, I mean, I did flowcharts, and I really went all out for it. So yeah, what I do have is I have a group of people who are very into the idea. They're very supportive of the idea. And there are a couple of people specifically that I have just, for lack of a better term, raked over the coals, picking their brain, trying to figure out how the fuck I'm supposed to do this. And so those people, oh my God, I like owe them such a debt of gratitude, because I didn't know anything about it. Because while I have put a book together before, I have published a book. I created a hardback book of some kind. I don't know what you would want to call it. And while that software was unbelievably easy, it was also proprietary to the publisher. And so I couldn't use it, even though it is stupid easy. Like, I could have been done doing all the formatting and stuff because it's all so simple. You know, art, pictures, photos, text, it was all simple. So of course I couldn't use it because why would I be able to? So with work, I had been keeping an eye out for positions to open because there were 3 U.S. positions left. All the rest were overseas. However, my old team are in fact contractually obligated to have U.S. people by a couple of customers. Obviously I can't get into who those customers are, but you know, banking type people, you know, stuff like that. Contractually obligated to have U.S. people. Unfortunately, the writing was seen on the wall by 2 of those U.S. people, and they fucking daddled within a week of each other. And one of them I already knew about. One of them I knew was looking for another position. The other one was kind of a surprise. So I kept an eye out on the company listings, and one day it popped up. And so I submitted my resume because I want the fuck off this team. So I let my manager and their manager know that I was applying for this other position. And my old manager was very excited. He was all for it. For, you know, obvious reasons. Obviously, I know what I'm fucking doing. There was no learning curve. There were nothing like that. I know what I'm doing. Unfortunately, corporate politics, corporate policies state that regardless of the reason you moved positions, you know, like being laid off and just shifting into another department, regardless of the reason that you moved positions, if you have moved positions within the company, you have to wait for a year before you can move again. And it has only been just over 4 months. Actually, technically just under 5 months if you count the 2.5 weeks that I was still in my old position, but technically under a different umbrella. They just couldn't let me go yet. So they could put forth a waiver. They could submit a waiver to HR. Look, we know it's only been 5 months, but blah, 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 blah. My old manager was 100% absolutely fine with filling out this paperwork and then giving it to his boss to forward to HR. His boss was not willing to forward it. His boss did not want to submit the waiver. He wanted my old boss to do interviews. And then if nobody else fit the bill, then it was pretty much a, we have to have somebody. And if we can't get somebody else, then fine, we'll let her back. And they had 3 applicants. 2 of them did not fit the bill. One of them did, and my old manager was told to make them an offer. And if they did not accept it, then they could fill out the waiver. And the other guy accepted it. So my boss's boss, we're going to call him Steve. I have emails from Steve because I don't throw anything away. I have emails from Steve over the past couple of years about saving his bacon. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I would do without you. I really owe you one. I really appreciate everything that you do. I can't believe that you got all of this done. All kinds of shit like that. I've also got them from my old boss. We'll call him, I was going to say Steve too, but we'll call him Dave. I also have them from Dave. The difference is that I actually believe Dave's. I believe that Dave actually did appreciate me. And I believe that Steve just knows how to use words. Because if any of that, if any one word of any kind of thank you, praise, appreciation, owe you one was true, he would have hit the fucking forward button. Because he knows, the same as every fucking other person here, that I do not belong in this position. I am not qualified for it. I can barely scrape by. The number of times that I have been asked, can you please put me through to somebody who knows what they're doing? It's humiliating. It's embarrassing. And it's not fair to the other people on the team. It's not fair to the customer to have to listen to me fumble and trip over myself and try to help them when I don't know how. It's not fair to them. I am wasting their time. It's not fair to my teammates to constantly have to go, I don't have the fucking vaguest idea what this guy is talking about. Do you? Oh yeah, you just blah, 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 blah. Oh. And then when I try to actually go over back to the phone call and blah, 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 customers can tell that I'm just regurgitating something that was just said to me. They can tell. And I have been asked, can you please transfer me to whoever was helping you? And it's not fair to my teammates. Because now they're going to get a call back from somebody who is going to be like, I don't know who the fuck I was just talking to, but I really hope you know what you're doing. Because now they're already frustrated, they've already wasted their time, and now somebody else is going to have to deal with them. I have been hung up on because I don't know what I'm doing. What I do know, I know really well. I can reset a password like that. But please don't ask me to fix anything. Because I don't know how. So yeah, nobody thinks I actually belong on this team. But a forward button was too much. Everyone knows that I belong on my old team. Everybody. Not one person was shocked that I was keeping an eye out for that position to open up. Nobody. There was no, oh wow, I really thought that you were fitting in here. No, it was, okay, let me know how it goes. A forward button was too much. That came I had a really emotional weekend prior to finding that out. An emotional weekend that should not have been. I found out rather shockingly that I actually have a new psychological trigger, and I don't know why. I don't know where it came from. I don't know where it'll go. I don't know where it came from, Cotton Eye Joe. And so I was still dealing with that. I spent pretty much all of Sunday crying. And then I spent pretty much all of Monday crying. First because of the emotional trigger that I could not shake off. It was, and I say shake, but I was almost shaking most of the day. And then I found out about that. And I just wanted to call my boss and go, I can't do this today. It was too much. But I didn't. And then at the end of the day, near the end of the day, I got a call from my team lead, and I was already choked up because of the emotional thing, because of the job thing, and then I just had a customer who yelled at me because I'm an idiot. And then I get on the line with him, and he said, so do you want the bad news first or the good news? I don't know that I can take any more bad news, bro. I don't. And he said, all right, I'll get the bad news out of the way first. And he said, I'm kicking you to the curb. And my throat shut. And there was no stopping. Absolutely no stopping it. And I just started crying. And I just kind of went, oh. It turned out that he was just putting me under another team lead because it was determined that he had too many people under him and the other guy did not have enough people under him. But the wording and the timing on that was ghastly. So, and then about a half hour after that meeting, I had a meeting with my boss, and it was like our bi-weekly check-in, and she was like, so how you doing? And I was like, do you really want to fucking know? I did not say fucking, but I did say, are you sure you want to ask that question? And she said, yeah, go ahead. And so I dumped it all on her, and she was like, okay, well. So I'm still trying to figure out everything. I am looking for another job still. But nobody seems to be hiring for what they're actually advertising. I've applied to many remote positions that aren't actually remote. Well, we just put that there so that way people will see our listing. Wow, you're a dick. You know, I really did think that this was only going to be like a 10-minute video. But it's about to be 30. So I am going to go now. I'm going to go sit on the sofa. I'm going to do a puzzle. And I'm gonna try to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do with my night. Because I got nothing left. I just got off work a half hour ago. I'm exhausted. I barely did anything, but the things that I did were exhausting. So, anyway, good on you if you actually watched this whole thing. I'm sorry if you watched this whole thing. Oh, and my 9-year-old is going to be going to Georgia for the summer to spend time with her grandparents, who, let's just say, I am not at all confident that I'm not confident that they give a fuck about the state of the world right now. So I'm waiting for that phone call. I'm just waiting for the phone call that Landon got sick. I do have my vax, and Karma's gonna get their second shot on Thursday, but Landon can't get hers yet. So that's gonna be a fantastic amount of stress for me this summer. Is just sitting here going, I have no faith that she is going to be okay. But I also don't really have a leg to stand on about it. So, anyway, good on you if you are still here. I'm very sorry if you're still here that you had to listen to me bitch for a half hour. But thank you for letting me get it out. And I'll talk to you later.